Greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. This is Body Culinary, aka Kwasapeacefull Eating, coming to you fresh out of the garden with a nice little garden manicure. So I grow long nails, but they don't stay, which is okay because I'm in the garden a lot. So sometimes they become secondhand or firsthand tools inside the garden. So sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. I decided to come in today before my classes before I go back into the garden because we've already watered today and checking on the new plants. So I came in to answer a few questions for you folks that are new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kwasa Peaceful Eating, Body Culinary. I'm a professional chef, personal trainer. I've been into healthy foods and fitness for over 30 something years. I am a natural born woman. I enjoy very much being a woman. Shout out to you, whatever your expression is. And I'm also a mother. On this channel, I share some of my journey of radical self acceptance. And what that looks like and has looked like for me is really appreciating and celebrating the unique features that I popped out onto the planet with. I also share three what I will call leverage lifestyle practices. And those lifestyle practices greetings, Dora. These leverage lifestyle practices give you back so much more for the investment of your time, energy, and money. So, time, energy, and money. Well, money, but also any focus spent on the internet. Let me see if I can get a little more light in here because we just have natural light. A little more light. Maybe just a little bit. I'll have a gigantic setup. I really prefer natural light. So in any event, I share three leverage lifestyle practices. Those practices are peaceful consumption, basically food that loves you back, that demonstrates, just like with any good relationship, I love principles. Food that demonstrates that it loves you back. So I'm a big eater. I love eating immensely. Though I'm very clear that certain foods don't love me back, right? You can be saying you love someone, right? And that's a loaded word. But if you got black eyes and you're all jacked up and your finances are ruined and you're being verbally abused, well, what is that? That's something for you to contemplate. So food that demonstrates that it loves you back. Whatever labels you want to call yourself, okay, fine, but it's really about your results. The other two lifestyle practices are a daily movement practice. That is daily. That is daily. So the last couple of weeks, I'm getting ready for, so you can't hear me? Wi-Fi. Let's say turn the Bluetooth off. Let's see, hear me now. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. So I have a mic on, but I don't know if you can hear me. Maybe the Bluetooth is on. Can you hear me now? Just let me know if you can hear me. So I'm not here chitting and chatting and then you can't hear me because it's going to be another hot, scorching one. So just put a number 1 or put a flower if you can hear me in the chat. Otherwise, I will get rid of the mic. Maybe that's even better. Let me know if you can hear me now. So hopefully you can. Oh, no, you can't. I see headset. See, my Bluetooth, that's what the deal is. That's what that is. Let's see.
Low battery. Please recharge speaker.
Gotta love technology.
Connected.
Now, let's turn off the Bluetooth. So let me know if you can hear now, Dora. Or otherwise, I'll go out and I'll have to maybe come back in this afternoon when I come out of the garden. So let's see. Bluetooth is off. Let's see. I'm trying a little speaker again. Dora? I'll give a little flower or something if you're able to hear. So hopefully the other speakers are on. So in any event, I wanted to come in. Maybe I'll retape this if it doesn't go up because I've been in a heat wave. So I wanted to answer a few questions. So first things first, Three lifestyle practices: peaceful consumption, food that demonstrates that it loves you back. A daily personal movement. Oh, great. You can hear. A daily personal movement practice and garden therapy. Garden therapy, deeply therapeutic practices. And these are practices that you have access to wherever you pay rent or mortgage and wherever you lay your head at night. So, whatever your budget, these are three lifestyle practices that are significant deposits into the 401k of your health, the 401k of your vitality. After working so hard for jobs or giving your all into relationships, what's going to be left for you? We don't realize as younger folks, or especially as young women, that quite often you're spending a lot of your energy and your vitality at work and also with your loved ones. And it can be very easy to deplete yourself. And as you move into your, now it seems like in the 30s now, a lot of women are burnt out from corporate jobs and from so much success. So there's nothing wrong with success, but based on our numbers and our lack of vitality, uh, we are depleted, and our numbers are actually in a very dangerous range. The average person in the American population, they say over 70% is unhealthily overweight. And so, if that's the American population, the population of women, and especially Afro women of Afro descent and ascent, the numbers are actually really catastrophic. So, as I've mentioned before, it's one thing to have body positivity. It's another thing to be very well aware of the actual cost of having unhealthy numbers and not addressing them with changes to our lifestyle and our consumption. So, in any event, I share those types of things on this channel. So, if you're interested in that kind of content, feel free to like, comment respectfully, and subscribe. Perhaps share the channel with someone that could gain some benefit. So, a couple of things I wanted to answer a question. Aries, one of the subscribers, asked a question about growing eyelashes. So, I am not anti makeup, though my priority, rather than being against something, I can appreciate makeup and styling and all that. Though for me, in my personal lifestyle, and you'll have to find your own path, I prioritize an active lifestyle. So some things I find them very inconvenient. Maybe one day I will put them on for a photo shoot, but I know it's a lot too much stuff on my person doesn't appeal to me. As someone that's had a lot of acne, I really like to enjoy my own hair and my own skin. Which, by the way, before I went out to the garden, I just water washed it, rinsed it, and I need to be better. I'm striving to be better about covering my hair because I won't cover my hair because I don't like to be things on me. But then I'll wind up with all kinds of trees and dust and things in my hair from the garden. So today I'm better, and I just washed it, rinsed it, and just put a scarf on it to try to keep some of the stuff in the garden out of my hair. So that's what's going on with that. Now, as far as eyelashes, someone was asking something, Aries. So I do wear my own eyelashes, and I know since it's one of my features that I really enjoy is my eyelashes. And since a little girl, or from a young girl, there were different things that my grandmothers and my great grandmothers. I'm very into the ways of the mothers and the great grandmothers that I saw them use. My great grandmother on my mother's side, she had an old school book called Back to Eden. I have her, it was passed down to me. And she was really into herbs and herb concoctions. So, what I would use on my eyelashes is either castor oil or shea butter. Um, a lot of times I will use a lot of the mixtures that I mix out of the garden. Sometimes no polys. Sometimes if you have natural beauty, no products, you'll see a lot of the foods that I put on my face. So what I'm eating internally, which is whole, fresh, living foods as a lifestyle, I use it primarily first internally, and that's also what I'm putting onto my face. So it's very, very minimal, if any kind of makeup. Sometimes I'll do a little bit of mascara. I had mascara on yesterday. I think this may be a little bit, but usually I'll use shea butter, shea butter or castor oil, and sometimes cocoa butter on my lips. But for the most part, I don't like a lot on my lips because I have too much stuff on my body and my person feels claustrophobic, and I can feel my skin breathe, and I can feel when it feels like it's too packed down, compressed. So I like the feeling of my body being able to breathe. I've gotten used to now for years not having oil on my scalp. So, and I don't have any dandruff, any flaking. So, no itching. And this is with no oil or product. So I like the feeling of my scalp and my skin breathing. This is a large eliminative organ. So that feels really pleasurable to me. It feels good. I can feel the difference when I have stuff on my skin. It feels like almost like I have plastic wrap on my skin, like I can't breathe. If it wasn't for being out in the garden just now with all of these bees, and we have some Africanized bees, which are no joke, they can really send you running. Uh, so today I covered my back. Sometimes there'll be mosquitoes. We've got lots of lizards. The other day, I sent a snake back to the ancestors. Excuse me, but I'm a very peaceful person, but also sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So yeah, so I had to deal with a snake. So I'm very very active. Right now it's a heat wave. I can't imagine having loads of makeup on. Actually, when I think about it, it's just I find it very stressful. So much stuff, so many things, so much stuff, so much makeup. I don't know. Everybody's different. I can't imagine it. Maybe it would look nice. Sometimes I even feel like some of the stuff. I think perhaps my eyes. I retrained my eyes, so I feel like it looks so artificial. Now I do think it looks lovely on some other people, but practicality is my priority. Going from one task to another is my priority. I'm making significant deposits into the health insurance of my body, my vitality. That's my number one priority. Being able to roll on the floor. I have bunnies, so I like to play with the bunnies a lot. I'll go from the workout to the garden to running an errand to sometimes picking up water, sawdust, sand, bricks, so that's the garden manicure. So I can't, my nails grow, but I can't seem to keep them because I got stuff going on. And yesterday we replanted desert flower, which is so lovely. Desert flower, some stevia, fresh stevia, elderberry, some new thyme, some oregano, and so on. So they have quite a few folks coming down to visit me, and actually some people already booked for next year. So I'm really, really excited. So do keep in contact. I'm not. Sometimes I question maneuvering social media, and sometimes I find it. I make an effort to curate my social media. I find it can really suck you in your attention. It's something I'm really convinced that it really affects the brain. So, and I feel a lot better when I'm not on social media as much. So, I constantly look at how to navigate it. I do get though, it's one of the ways that we communicate, right? It's one of the ways that I can reach out to family and other people. But being on it so long, I don't know. I feel like it creates some kind of like anxiety where you just get sucked into it. So I like
Please
uh,
switch on speaker.
simple life. See, and you got technology coming on, new speakers like popping on by itself. So when I can wake up and go to sleep with the sounds of the crickets and the roosters, that I find more calming. I think I could really go into the bush at very, very quiet areas. And if I didn't need to interact with the computer, I don't think I would, because it just feels a lot more it feels very restful. So in any event, been in the garden like every single day. Of course, the 5 a.m. workout is on. So if you are subscribed to the channel, and if you're following Body Culinary on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, I will rotate the first portion of the workout in the mornings. Hey, Sonia, nice to see you and hear you. I say, hey, greetings, Sonia. Greetings, Carolyn, and greetings as always, Dora. So we're on a countdown to, I think it's maybe it's 13 days, it's less than 2 weeks. So there will be a bunch of folks coming down to visit me. So I think I answered the question before I lose track, because there are some classes after this. The question, how do I go on my lashes? And I really would like to emphasize, um, I think a lot of times we have the tendency to want to treat things externally. I think that's how we're programmed. Though your life cycles are happening primarily because of your organs. And if your organs are all dried out, like think of liver, right? We have a liver. Many of us actually have a non-alcoholic fatty liver, right? We don't just get a hardened liver from alcohol, but all the devitalized foods, the starches. I used to be a big time junk food addict and a starchitarian, a processed food arian, if you will, labels. But though it's easy to keep paying money, which ask me how I know. Spend so much money on product after product after product. I switched from the beauty supply store to the health food store and the food co-op. But you're spending so much money on products, I know it doesn't seem to make sense if we're not addressing the health of the organs. So there is no way around sleep. Red Bull and coffee are not sleep. They're actually, I love to make distinctions because distinctions make the difference. And by the way, if you don't already, feel free to download and purchase a copy of Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget. It's very simple with pictures, and budgets for what I've been doing for all of these years. I think going on 13 years of whole, fresh living foods. I was living a healthy lifestyle before then, definitely compared to the standard American diet, but always upgrading. So it's been well over several years, over a decade of whole, fresh living foods. Doesn't make me better than anyone else. It's just I know I'm not interested in dieting, and I don't think I can get any better than whole, fresh, unprocessed foods. Whole, fresh, unprocessed foods. That's a big distinction. So you can use whatever label makes you feel good, though I'm cautious about labels because we can start ego tripping off the labels, and that doesn't mean that you've um, overeating or stress eating, which we just went over, and we did a 30-day class, 30 days of making of sprouting, making live crackers, and exploring emotional eating. So that was in the last 30-day master class. So we paused on a master class because we have several people coming down to visit my Afro flower homestead and garden. And we're going to be going to some sacred sites, Mayan sacred sites. We're going to be going through some magical caves in canoes. We're going to be doing African dance, double Dutch. Lots of fitness, yoga, living foods workshops. So whenever you don't see me, I'm always up to something. Folks that are inside of Flower Fit, that is a community that I set up. If you would like to share and receive inspiration on what you're up to inside of your garden, if you'd like to share and to see what other people are doing in their garden, the results from your heart rate monitor, right? There's nothing like action. If you're not in action, then there are no results, right? It's easy to get sucked into talking and listening to people talk all day on the internet. I've been out here 30 something years. I don't have time to sit online all day, but this thing will suck you in. So I know that results lie at action. So coming together around activities, that's what I'm inspired to do. I don't want to sit and talk all day because I'm not getting anything out of it. Just like it's ego tripping. It doesn't, that's not going to make me gain, lose weight. And that's a whole nother story. Or help me put on lean mass. And there's nothing more empowering than the 5 a.m. workout. So if you're not in 5 a.m. workout, what are you doing? So if you're interested in group coaching, that is Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Flower Fit community to share your heart rate monitor, your garden, um, and your daily movement practice results. That is free. So that is the Body Culinary server on Discord. So download the Discord app, which is free. Reach out to me. I am very wary of social media, and I like protocol, and I'm just very sensitive to tone and how folks come at me. I mean, this is just one little teeny tiny speck on the internet, but respectful boundaries are really, really important, and safety. Safety. To me, if I don't feel safe, or I see folks make unsafe decisions and interactions, whoever it is, whatever package you come in, then I'm very, very slow to respond. Though, if you're interested in coaching, reach out to me. That's every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can get more information about that on bodyculinary.com. If you want to see the foods that I'm using in my hair, and you'll see my hair before it locked, that's natural beauty, no products. So I'm emphasizing it's the food first on the inside. You can put 20 million tons of products on your face. It's only at the outside level. Your organs are number one. Your organs. What are you doing? Are you putting the same amount, which doesn't make you bad or wrong? Are you putting the same amount of effort into the maintenance of your organs? Are you understanding how your organs working, how your organs are responsible for secreting hormones, the chemicals that create all kinds of changes in your body, right? So it's easy for us to leave high school and college and not have a working knowledge, and that can be demonstrated in a lot of our self-sabotaging behaviors or our ineffective behaviors. It can be demonstrated we're ineffective in making choices that really keep our vitality up here. So, as I've asked before, considering your quiet moments, what do you need your body to be able to do for you in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Can you perform when you need to? Are you able to defend yourself? Are you able to run, jump, kick? Or have you gotten very comfortable in front of the screen and just munching? I understand what that's like. Just munching. We may not consider this as subtle forms um, of coping mechanisms and depression, yet without making ourselves bad or wrong, it's easy to, I would say a lot of the day we're not present, right? So we're either looping old conversations, old memories, um, being triggered by the things that we're watching, even though we're laughing, because laughing at a lot of our pain has become very normalized. And then a lot of the lyrics in the music, as they are definitely auto suggestions to your subconscious. Even though the beat is hypnotic, I'm crystal clear that we're deeply affected by the mantras that we have on. So I'm very conscientious. When I can, I like to reframe the narratives of the music, but sometimes you just can't. The music has gotten, or the music, the hypnotic rhythms and lyrics have gotten so deplorable that I wonder, I really wonder how women in particular and girls, because younger women and girls are mimicking us, how is it that you have thousands of women that sit around and don't say anything or not in protest or don't, I've heard of the whole divestment thing online. How do women not divest from this music? I get that it's hypnotic, but at some point, well, as we mature and we got some get some conscientiousness, right? How do we not move away demonstrated that with these auto suggestions, we start acting these things out because they're triggering emotions and emotions drive actions. Real simple. I do recognize in the quiet moments when I'm up early and I'm cleaning, I'm moving around. I reckon there are a lot of things that we don't get wisdom, and wisdom is distinct from information, right? Wisdom, information, anybody can compile information very quickly and misuse the information or be manipulated by information. You see any of that going on? So you can have lots of factual information, lots of information that makes sense. But this may not apply to you, but I'm crystal clear that we are easily manipulated uh, with information. If it's coming to us in a package of a religious leader that we like, or someone that is maybe acknowledging some trauma that we have gone to, or they came from the same block, or they have a body, or they have an attractive face, or with enough makeup. I'm so clear, we are an animal, a type of animal, though we do have the ability to reason, though it is very easily compromised. And like I say, I don't think I'm a dummy. I have a bit of intelligence. So I'm very clear. And I've learned through butt kicking life lessons that we are very easily manipulated. So it appears that many of the folks marketing things to us, whether they're politicians or religious personalities, other flawed human beings, or predators and pimps, they understand our psyche and how to elicit specific behaviors out of us more than we. I get that they also, there are entities that also understand that we will give way to our emotions, our romanticism, our idealism of wanting certain things to be true so bad that we will be blindsided. We will sometimes blindside ourselves to common sense, right? As I've said before, one of the most clear examples is how is it that we are able to put ourselves in harm's way, our psyche, our reproductive organs, our money, take certain types of risks with ourselves. And also, we can see now with our children, right? Many of us, males and females, it can be seen that we don't have the wisdom of a vetting process for who we let into our bodies intimately and it's at a tremendous cost. And when you look at the internet, it is absolutely shocking to see the things that people defend, either meanness, anonymous, mean comments to others. But if it takes some wisdom to understand that usually with that kind of acting out is coming from a place of powerlessness, right? Or a desire to subjugate who you perceive to be dumber or weaker, or even less cognizant or ignorant. So wisdom is hard earned. Hopefully, for my younger folks and younger flowers, you don't jack yourself up following behind make believe personalities on the internet, romanticizing or out of desperation, or romanticizing religious personalities. And then, even I don't know how much more can we see from religious leaders on in every spectrum, from folks telling somebody to suck their tongue, mishandling of young boys, and how much more do we need to see? So at this point, it's clear that there's something in us that desires, I think, delusion as a coping mechanism. Some things to consider. So the garden, I consider my first church, and it's so interesting. I grew up very religious, and from time to time, I don't think folks necessarily mean anything bad by it, but from time to time, every now and then somebody will come by this channel and share something religious or their prayers, and I'm like, something like, I'm just not interested in anyone's religion in the absence of common sense. I'm just simply not interested. At this point in my life, I'm very clear. Your religion is not the label you put on yourself, it's what you do. It's what you believe in, it's what you invest your money in consistently, it's what you invest your time in, it's what you're eating. That is your religion. And I love to get things down to the simplest common denominator. I like to make things very, very simple so I can see. So I like to think a lot of time, what would my grandma Lou say? Because in her 90s, she had so much supreme common sense. And so I see, out of desperation and a need for validation, we will often put ourselves in harm's way, men and women. So I like the garden. I like food that I can recognize, that I know that my cells and my immune system can recognize. I'm very clear. A party in your mouth, you can suffer because of a party in your mouth, or you can suffer because of your delusion or your enchantment with somebody's body, or as women looking to control or manipulate men with our tears, our emotions, and we manipulate each other. To what end? And the next generation suffers. So accountability and responsibility, personal accountability and responsibility. Imagine if that was a religion, right? And that's not so much about what you say; it's about what you do. You're striving your personal moments. And not everyone is going to see those moments where you choose to forego the thing that you have a craving for, right? Folks crave cigarettes, alcohol, and crack. So when you forego those things, the things that make you stronger, right? That strengthen your resolve, that help you build mental resilience and mental toughness and calmness. Usually, no one is around when you're doing those things, right? You usually don't have an audience. There's usually no audience when I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes, or when I'm turning um, compost, or the times where I have chosen to throw bags over the years ago of brand new bags of potato chips in the garbage can and put water on them, to say, like, this is an addiction. Doesn't matter what people are saying. All the cans of Pringles, all of the Kit Kats. Yes, it has smiling faces on the packages and on the commercials, but I got very clear that that was drugs, and I got very clear on the true cost. So I'm not here to tell grown folks what to do, because we are not at that stage in time. That is too much energy. And hopefully you folks will consider and contemplate reciprocal relationships, right? If you're giving a lot, it is okay. And it makes sense for us also to receive, right? To require what we're worth, to have healthy boundaries. That's a healthy thing. I know many people are not used to seeing that with women of Afro descent. It's one of the reasons why I will say also that I have chosen health and confidence over a made up, ever moving goalpost of beauty. So this won't be everyone's cup of tea. No, I'm not going to get a whole bunch of cameras and put a bunch of makeup. Maybe one day I will play in some makeup. It's my prerogative. So I'm not here to tell people you have to be a vegan, a vegetarian, wear makeup, don't wear makeup. Why? Because that's your personal journey. So I've gotten clear. I've done I've done every kind of place on the spectrum that you can imagine. So I do what I have found works for me through years of research. If I felt something was better, that's what I would do. Though, again, I think it's so interesting the things that I watch young women with a lack of experience defend to their detriment. For example, in relationships, different types of chemicals and so on, the different types of alterations, and there's just like no stopping anybody. So there's not a whole lot of energy or resources to waste uh, right now. And I'm very sensitive also. I'm not everybody's cup of tea at how folks approach me on the internet, whether that's male or female. So if I detect or if I sense a lack of boundaries or respect, then I simply bow and go play in the dirt. So let me jump over here. I have another class to go to. So again, reach out to me if you're interested in coaching. There's going to be other programs coming up. I'm very slow, so I'm not jumping on what everybody's doing. I'm not Google. I'm not a big company. I'm one woman with a focus on whole, fresh living foods, a daily personal movement practice, and garden therapy. And these lifestyle practices will serve you until your hair is white. I like to come together around activities, right? Getting into action around the things you say are your core values. That's what change happens. Change quite often is uncomfortable. Yeah, it's so worth it, right? Ask me how. I had a face full of acne. Ask me how I know, right? And I want to enjoy. I'm intentional about wanting to enjoy my hair and skin when my hair turns white, because that is a fact of life. Your breasts will not always be firm mangoes, even with raw foods, living foods, and with exercise. Though it does make a big difference in terms of preservation and vitality. And all this ranting and raving sometimes on the internet, what kind of results are you getting back? What are you getting back for it? It's like, again, we get sucked in to all the triggeration. What about your results? Then you turn around and go do your exercise and make your healthy food. And guess what? Your resolve is gone. Your motivation, you spent it. You spent it on the internet um, in this mob culture. And what do you have to show for it? So hopefully you're not depleting yourself of your personal resources, your energy and your time being non-renewable resources, right? You can't see it with your eyes, but your attention is an extremely valuable resource. It's actually being data mined and being sold to other companies, everything you click on and you watch. So only you can curate it. And once you try to pull away from these things, you start to see how deep programming and conditioning and programming is no joke. That's why I tell my clients all the time, I study junkies. I study junkies. There's a lot of wisdom there in studying junkies. So I'm about to get off of here. Feel free to comment respectfully, give the video a like and a thumbs up. Lets me know if folks are interested in this content. Create a great rest of the day on purpose, and I will see you soon.